dzisiejszym odcinku rozwiążę 3 zadania maturalne z podstawy z angielskiego. Pierwsze zadanie jest słuchanie, drugie zadanie to jest uzupełnianie luk i trzecie zadanie to odpowiadanie na pytania do tekstu. To pierwsze zadanie to jest słuchanie i polecam, żebyś wszystko przeczytał przed słuchaniem.
Przeczytaj polecenie i zapoznaj się z treścią zadania.
Stella advised her friend to take an exam to become a taxi driver. Stella had problems with passing the knowledge exam. Stella doesn't mind working at night. Stella is satisfied with the money she earns. I Stella enjoys talking to her passengers.
Stella, you are one of the few female taxi drivers in London. Tell us how you managed to get the job.
When I was younger, I didn't have any ambitions to become a taxi driver. I was starting to think about driving as a profession when, to my surprise, I learnt that a friend of mine wanted to become a licensed London taxi driver. She was preparing for the exam, which is called the knowledge, and she asked me to help her revise. I've always been proud of my driving skills, so I felt happy that I could help her. And that's when I realised that I might also enjoy driving people around in one of London's black taxis.
The exam you have to pass to be a London taxi driver is famous for being incredibly difficult. Did you have any problems with passing it?
Well, the knowledge exam requires you to memorise the details of London's road system. I have an excellent memory, so passing the exam was no trouble for me. One of its hardest parts is when you have to describe the shortest possible route between two places in London, and quite a few candidates fail that part.
And what do you like about your job, Stella?
First of all, the hours. I work 8 hours or less per day and have Saturdays off. I prefer to start at midnight because then I only have to work until 6 a.m. I know that some taxi drivers work longer hours than me and have a higher income, but that doesn't bother me. The greatest thing about my job is that I earn enough to support my family, so I have nothing to complain about.
Lucky you.
Yes, I do what I like, and I'm paid well for it. And I often meet interesting passengers. I always have a lot of fun chatting with them. Some passengers even share their personal problems with me. Many people think that talking to strangers about such things is not a good idea, but I'm a taxi driver, so I listen patiently in those cases and always give the best advice I can.
Thank you very much, Stella.
To daj znać, co ty myślałeś o tym nagraniu. Wiesz, dla mnie, jako native, to uważam, że oczywiście to jest dosyć proste. Ale też wiem, że jakbym nie był native'em, to prawdopodobnie bym uważał, że to jest po pierwsze bardzo długie nagranie i trzeba tak dosyć uważnie słuchać. To daj znać w komentarzach, co ty myślałeś o tym nagraniu. Czy uważasz, że on jest łatwy, prosty, łatwy, żeby zrozumieć. Też uważam, że oni mówili bardzo wolno i bardzo wyraźnie. I myślę, że ogólnie nativi, szczególnie Brytyjczycy, tak jak oni powinni być, tak jak w tym nagraniu, oni są Brytyjczykami, to na pewno by nie mówili tak wyraźnie i tak wolno, tak jak w tym nagraniu. To popatrzymy na pierwsze pytanie. Stella advised her friend to take an exam to become a taxi driver. Jak byś tutaj odpowiedział? True or false? Z tego, co słyszałeś albo słyszałaś, czy uważasz, że Stella advised her friend to take an exam to become a taxi driver? Advise to jest, żeby doradzić. To, czy ona doradziła jej koleżance, żeby ona podeszła do tego egzaminu. Jaka jest twoja odpowiedź? Bo ja bym tutaj powiedział false, że to nie jest część tego nagrania. To drugie pytanie. Stella had problems with passing the knowledge exam. To czy ty uważasz, z tego co słyszałeś albo słyszałaś, czy Stella miała problemy, żeby zdać ten knowledge exam? Jak byś tutaj odpowiedział albo odpowiedziała? Bo ja bym powiedział, że to jest false. I Stella did not have problems passing the knowledge exam. Numer 3. Stella doesn't mind working at night. To czy ty uważasz, że to jej nie przeszkadza, żeby pracować w nocy. She doesn't mind. Czy to jest true or false? Bo ja bym powiedział, że to jest true. She does not mind. Nawet mówiła, że ona woli pracować at midnight. I oczywiście midnight to jest 12 w nocy. Czwarte pytanie. Stella is satisfied with the money she earns. True or false? Is Stella satisfied with the money she earns? To znaczy, czy ona jest zadowolona z tych pieniędzy, które ona zarabia. Nie wiem jak ty, ale ja bym powiedział true. Z tego, co ona mówiła, to jest true. To jest prawda. I numer 5. Stella enjoys talking to her passengers. True or false? To też jest chyba dosyć proste i na pewno powiedziałeś true. Ok, to drugie zadanie to jest wypełnianie luk. So let's have a look. I see what I did there? Bo po polsku to jest wypełnianie luk, ale żeby patrzeć to jest look. Look, to inaczej się wymawia, ale to jest głupi żart. W Stanach mówimy fill in the blanks, ale chyba na tych egzaminach, i może to jest brytyjskie, bo bardzo często w Polsce słyszałem, że wy mówicie fill in the gaps, ale my byśmy powiedzieli w Stanach fill in the blanks, bo to puste to jest a blank. Tutaj instrukcje piszą, przeczytaj wiadomość, którą Monika wysłała do kolegi. Uzupełnij luki 5,4, albo nie wiem jak mówicie, 5,4 do 5,7 zgodnie z treścią tekstów A through D, tak aby jak najbardziej precyzyjnie oddać ich sens. Luki należy uzupełnić w języku angielskim. Uwaga! W każdą lukę można wpisać maksymalnie 5 wyrazów. Wow, to dużo. I z tym zadaniem trzeba przeczytać 4 różne teksty, które teraz przeczytam. Tekst A. A clever solution. Van Moof is a company in Holland which produces great city bikes. A few years ago, they were not making as much money as they had expected because a lot of their bikes got damaged while being transported to their clients. So they decided to do something about it. The obvious solution was to use stronger boxes, but Van Moof came up with a cheaper idea. They realized that couriers are more careful when they deliver TVs. I powiem, że courier chyba jest brytyjskie słowo, bo nigdy nie słyszałem, żeby ktoś w Stanach używał to słowo. My chyba byśmy po prostu powiedzieli delivery drivers. So Van Moof started to send their bikes in boxes which are the same size and shape as those used for very large TVs. Since the introduction of the new packaging last year, they no longer get so many complaints about damaged bikes. Pretty clever. Okay, text B. Transform your bike. Tego nie wiem, czemu oni napisali transform your bike tak z dużymi literami. My byśmy tego nie zrobili. To brzmi jakby ktoś krzyczał tak transform your bike! Take it easy, man. To nie jest takie poważne z tym rowerem. Tak po prostu mów normalnie. Have you heard about fun bike stores? I widzę, że to zrobili jeszcze raz w tym pierwszym zdaniu. Have you heard about fun bike stores? One of them is located on Magnolia Lane. You can take your standard bike there and it will be turned into an electric one for just a small part of the cost of a new electric bike. Mr. Robin Hughes, a representative of Fun Bike, says people are beginning to learn that the great thing about electric bikes is that you can choose to pedal yourself or use the motor when you get tired or the road is steep. Either way, you will become more active yourself, you will use your car less, and do something good for the planet. Text C. A great idea for cyclists! It is important to be safe when riding a bike. This weekend course is for cyclists who want to feel confident riding on the streets, even in bad weather conditions. We will teach you how to be prepared for anything that might happen. What equipment do you need? How should you ride when it's dark outside? These questions and more are answered during this practical course. You'll also be trained on how to clean a bike chain and change tires. I sposób, jak piszą tires, jest bardzo brytyjskie. Ja nawet nie wiedziałam, że oni tak piszą to słowo. Dopiero się o tym dowiedziałem kilka lat temu, bo w Stanach się pisze tires z i, to znaczy I, ale oni używają y, jak piszą tires. You will save a lot of money as a cyclist if you service your bike yourself. No bicycle is needed for this course. You can practice on our bikes. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact us. Phone 425-829-2356. Email info@bike.org. Text D. Answer the questions to decide what bike to get. Name, Monica. A nie wiem, czemu tak dużo krzyczą w tym egzaminie. How do you like riding to your destination? I tylko przeczytam odpowiedzi. Comfortably and safely. Are your routes smooth or bumpy? Smooth. Do you want a chic-looking bike? Yes. Do you want an electric bike? No. I make my own power? That's ridiculous. Result! Thank you, Monica, for answering the questions. You should get a city bike. City bikes are very popular. They're slower than other bikes, but very comfortable and easy to get on and off. These bikes are often fitted with baskets or bags so that you can carry things with you. But before that, I'm going to take it to a special shop where they will change it into blank. Then it will be much easier for my mum to ride. Yeah, it'll be much easier for me mum to ride. To co byś tutaj napisał? Bo z tego, co czytaliśmy, to ja bym napisał I'm going to take it to a special shop where they will change it into an electric bike. An electric bike. Then it will be much easier for me mum, to ride. When I was wondering about what type of bike I should buy for myself, I filled in an online questionnaire. A wiesz, to jest ciekawe, że oni piszą filled in an online questionnaire. W Stanach byśmy powiedzieli filled out. I filled in an online questionnaire and the feedback was that I should get a city bike. These bikes aren't blank, but they are very comfortable and well equipped. To co byś tutaj wpisał? Z tego, co czytaliśmy, ja bym napisał these bikes aren't very fast, but they are very comfortable, etc. I've just read about a Dutch company which produces city bikes and I've ordered one. I'm quite sure the bike won't arrive damaged because the blank will look as if it contains a TV set, so the courier will be more careful. To co będzie ten blank? The blank will look as if it contains a TV set. Co byś tutaj napisał? Ja bym napisał the box will look as if it contains a TV set, etc. When I get the bike, I'll go cycling every day. I recently spent 2 days learning how to take care of a bike and ride it safely. Now I'm not afraid to cycle at night or when blank. I szczerze mówiąc, nie jestem pewny, co mam tutaj napisać. I'm not afraid to cycle at night or when it is daylight? Nie, chyba nie. To może przeczytam tą część jeszcze raz. It's important to be safe when riding a bike. This weekend course is for cyclists who want to feel confident riding on the streets, even in bad weather conditions. Okej. Może to jest właśnie to. To wrócimy do tego fill in the blanks. I recently spent 2 days learning how to take care of a bike and ride it safely. Now I'm not afraid to cycle at night or when there are bad weather conditions. When there are bad weather conditions. I maksymalnie możemy mieć 5. To ja bym tak napisał. I hope that after riding a bike after a few months, I'll be fitter and I'll be able to go on a long cycling trip. Perhaps we can go together. See you soon, Monica. Okej, i ostatnie zadanie. Tutaj napisali, przeczytaj tekst z podanych odpowiedzi, wybierz właściwą, zgodną z treścią tekstu. Okej, to czytamy. I went into one of my favorite local restaurants recently and sat down at a table near the door. The place was practically empty, so most of the tables were free. After a couple of minutes, a member of the staff came up to me and said, I see you've seated yourself. Bo chyba muszę udawać, że jestem Brytyjczykiem. Yes, I replied. Didn't you see the please wait to be seated sign? She asked angrily. I've been to that restaurant many times, and of course I'd seen that sign before. Gosh, I didn't notice it, I said. Well, you may have to wait some time for the waiter to come to you, she said. There was no other customer within 50 feet, but that wasn't the point. The point was that I had ignored the notice. Sometimes the American love of order goes too far. To widocznie to jest amerykańskie, może się myliłem. To teraz będę musiał używać amerykański akcent. Ale to nie ma sensu, bo napisali favorite. I went into one of my favorite local restaurants i napisali favorite po brytyjsku. To take another example, some years ago, America's Airlines began requiring passengers to present photographic identification when checking in for a domestic flight. The first time I heard of this was when I showed up to catch a plane at an airport 120 miles from my home. I need to see your picture ID, said the check-in agent. Really? I don't think I have any, I said, and began emptying my pockets and then pulling my cards from my wallet. In the end, I found an ID with my picture. It was an old driving license. Widzisz, też jest brytyjskie. W Stanach mówi driver's license. I can't accept it. It's 15 years old, he said. I need something with a recent picture of you. I took a deep breath and searched my luggage. Finally, I remembered I had a copy of one of my books with a recent photo of me on the cover. I handed it to him proudly. Come on, I'm so proud. Shut up. He looked at the book and then at the printed list of acceptable IDs. Books are not on our list, he said. Hey, I'm sure it isn't, but it's still me. It couldn't be more me. I lowered my voice and looked closer at him. Are you seriously suggesting that I ordered this book to be printed so I can get on a plane to Buffalo? He looked hard at me for another minute, then called a colleague. Też to nie jest słowo, które byśmy używali. Byśmy używali słowo coworker. They exchanged opinions and called more people to discuss it. We ended up with a crowd of 3 check-in agents, their manager, the manager's boss, and 2 baggage handlers. What is the point of all this anyway? I said to the manager. Why do you need a picture ID, huh? It's a Federal Aviation Administration rule, he said. But why is it a rule? You see, the requirement is not simply to identify yourself, but to identify yourself in a way that precisely matches a written instruction, he answered. In the end, the manager told the agent to check me in, but warned me not to try anything like that again. Don't try that again, buddy. Okay, to teraz popatrzymy na te pytania i zobaczymy, jak byśmy tutaj odpowiedzieli. The woman working in the restaurant was annoyed because the author, co? Had expected to be served immediately. Albo had refused to follow her to another table. Albo może C. Had sat in the wrong part of the restaurant. Albo D. Had chosen a seat in the restaurant himself. To co byś tutaj wybrał? Bo ja bym wybrał D. The author had chosen a seat in the restaurant himself. Następne pytanie. At the airport, the author was told that he would have to travel 120 miles to another airport. Albo needed 2 IDs to get on the plane. Albo C. Had an ID which was not acceptable. Albo D. Had to catch a later flight. To co byś tutaj wybrał? Bo ja bym wybrał C. He had an ID which was not acceptable, right? Bo widocznie to zdjęcie albo ten ID był za stary, bo miał 15 lat. The author showed the check-in agent a copy of his book in order to A. Prove that he was a well-known writer. Okay, na pewno nie. B. Identify himself with an up-to-date photograph. C. Check if his books were on the agent's lists. To jest głupie. Albo D. Attract the attention of people standing nearby. Co to było? Tak, hey everybody, look at this book, huh? You like that? Nie, oczywiście, że nie. To poprawna odpowiedź jest dosyć łatwa tutaj. To jest B. Identify himself with an up-to-date photograph. 6.4 albo 6.4. The manager at the airport told the author to A. Follow the regulations in the future. B. Search his personal luggage once again. C. Explain why he didn't have an ID on him. Albo D. Read the instructions after boarding the plane. Technically, the manager warned me not to try anything like that again. Sounds pretty serious. To chyba bym po prostu powiedział A. Follow the regulations in the future. E. 6.5. Which is the best title for the story? O, i widzę, że tutaj krzyczą jeszcze raz. A. An unfortunate mistake on board. B. Improved customer service. Albo C. Problems caused by rules. Ja nie wiem, czy to jest... Nie wiem, czemu oni piszą tytuły w taki sposób, bo w Stanach na pewno tak się nie robi. Czy to jest polskie, czy to jest brytyjskie? Nie mam pojęcia. Problems caused by rules. Albo D. A missed chance. To co myślisz? Jak byś nazwał tą historię? Znaczy, mam nadzieję, żebyś nie krzyczał, ale ja bym powiedział problems caused by rules. I to wszystko na dzisiaj. Daj znać, jak ty odpowiedziałeś w komentarzach i wiesz, jak ty będziesz dawał maturę w tym roku albo w następnym roku i chcesz, żeby ktoś ci z tym pomógł, to napisz mi maila i wtedy, jak mój kurs będzie gotowy, to dam ci znać. To dzięki, że obejrzałeś dzisiejszy odcinek. Mam nadzieję, że on ci się podobał albo ci w jakiś sposób pomógł i zobaczymy się niedługo. Na razie. Cześć.